This is my second Baldur's Gate video. I just wanted to share the current build that I'm tinkering with. This is a level 10 build. And I think this my current like baby piece de resistance. I think it's a very meta build, but very different, slightly different from like what other meta builds are currently. It is a Frost CC archer. And I primarily play solo. These other characters are there for just story reasons. I think this character has great damage. It's got excellent CC. So it both does damage, heavy damage, it casts spells to CC, and it can prone enemies quite easily through the use of Frost. Yeah, through the use of Frost and like the ground effects. I'm gonna basically play through this and just show like a basic encounter with this little, you know, high ground and setup as I usually do, and then I will talk about like my decision making later for the build. So yeah, just gonna use Haste, drink a potion. We'll just start with like a basic attack over here. I think I want at least 2 characters with the oil on them to start.
Witnessed assaultings.
Yeah, these guys have a lot of speed. I definitely need to get alert on this character soon. Not going to use Charm. I don't want to rely too much on the illicit powers, of which I don't have the additional illicit powers on this character. Yep. I'm just going to take the hit. I need to get away in order to do what I need to do. Where's my oil? Whatever, I guess I don't need to use the oil. I usually coat my weapons, but I don't really need to use it. So, just gonna fire a multi-shot over here. One down. Gonna fire a second multi-shot. So, fortunately I didn't get any prone effects. So, I actually use Arcane. The Arcane Acuity is making the frost ice on the ground very, very high, so it's probably a D20 to avoid falling prone. But I don't know what's going on. They're just like dying beforehand, which is most unfortunate. It's kind of boring. Oh, I forgot to use Brace ahead of time to increase my overall damage. What's wrong with this character? What is wrong with this character? This character model can't be targeted. Oh, there he is. 1, 2. Just kill these guys. And then obviously, like, because of the way that my character CCs, it's quite weak against Steel Watchers, which is why I reworked this build. I can use Command Drop over here. Command Drop 2 should be sufficient. Can I reach this guy over here? Okay, great. So I'll Command Drop 3. No, I can't. Command Drop 2. You can see it's like 100% drop, basically, with my character, which is kind of what I meant by, like, it does great damage. I just destroyed those other characters. And then I'm going to have a 100% chance to make these guys drop their weapons. In fact, I didn't even need to make this guy drop his. He's kind of fucked anyway. Yep. And then that's my turn. And I haven't used Bloodlust Potion, which probably would be the obvious choice. Bloodlust Elixir. I've been trying to use different elixirs instead, because it's so obvious. It's obviously the best. Okay, That's weird. Why do I don't have Bardics already? Did I use so many? Obviously, like, since my character has, like, advantage on every attack, it doesn't really matter high ground or whatever. I have almost, like, 100% hit chance, like, basically all the time. The Steel Watchers also don't pick up their weapons. So, once you've kind of made it drop, it's kind of screwed already. Unfortunately, it can't be frightened or CC'd in any other way. That's why I took Command. Yeah. So just Vicious Mockery of it. Obviously, I could use Perilous Strikes right now, which is, I've also got like a 100% chance of doing Perilous Strikes. Maybe I'll do that. I try not to use Perilous Strikes for combat just because it's kind of broken. It trivializes a lot of combat. But yeah, sure, let's do it. Oh, that's weird. Shouldn't it... Why am I not getting extra damage on this? It's not being vulnerable. Is this bugged? I think it's bugged because this character should be vulnerable to piercing damage right now, and it's not doing it. So, wonder why it turns back to water. That's weird. I haven't seen that before. Oh, I think it's because of the fire damage on my weapon. I'm probably gonna make some adjustments. Take off the Hell Rider's gloves. They're probably not that useful for me anyway. Yeah, so that was it, sort of. So quite a strong character. Really, really good CC. Can like do really strong damage. Like, so since I play solo, there's like a couple things that are important for me. Number one is that if I'm going to use self-haste, I'll explain the build first. Mainly focused around the Bard, 6 Bard. I operate on like a 1 fight per short rest kind of thing because like most of my skills come back at short rest. I get my Bardic Inspirations back on short rest. I get a lot of like things like Brace and stuff like that back on short rest. And that's why I took Fighter 2 as well, since it combos really nicely with the Bard's short rest. I take Wizard 1 for haste. It's the cheapest way to get self-haste in the game. I can craft tons of speed potions, but I don't want to rely completely on just the consumable speed potions. I think it's kind of broken, so like this is a self-restraint on myself. Like I try to make sure I have haste if I'm going to use haste. For the ring, I'm using a snowburst ring. It produces ice underneath the target. Because of arcane acuity, from the synergy between the arcane acuity is like I said before, it's like a D20, like it's D18 to survive the prone. So it's like it basically can kill like permanently CC any unit that needs to walk, which can get prone. The problem is that the Steel Watchers can't get prone, so there needs to be something else to deal with them, right? I was using the Risky Ring. Yeah, obviously Band of Mystic Scoundrel, amazing on this kind of like attack, like on this character because it can cast illusion enchantment spells like as bonus actions, which are a lot of CC moves. The problem is that a lot of the illusion and enchantment spells are actually concentration, and obviously the best concentration spell currently is haste, right? So you don't, for most fights, you don't actually want to use most of the illusion and cantrip spells, which is why I've taken like 3 of the ones that are great for this slot are Dissonant Whispers, which doesn't take concentration, Command, which doesn't take concentration, and Vicious Mockery. Dissonant Whispers also doesn't work on the Steel Watchers, which is why I took Command. So that's entirely the reason why I took Warlock 1, just to get Command, which I guess I could have taken like a Cleric or something as well, which might have offered more utility. Yeah, so the benefits of Arcane Acuity are affecting both the CC skills, which can be used in between turns, and the Frost. So you're getting double value out of that. I'm using a Dark Justicier's half plate currently for Constitution advantage, so that it's very, very difficult to take haste off this character. And then obviously I use the Punch Drunk Bastard to get advantage on all attacks. I was using the Risky Ring for a while, but I wanted to work the Frost element back into this. And then obviously I'm using Elemental weapon from the Drakefire weapon thing from Act 2 in order to get a bit of cold, in order to activate the Snowburst Ring. That's required. So Amulet of Drunkard and Punch Drunk Bastard combo to give you advantage on every attack. I actually don't think this is optimal. I would much prefer to wear the gloves of the Circuitry or Automaton, which you get in Act 2, but I didn't realize that they existed until I got to this point, so I don't have them. So my only other option to gain advantage on all hits is to use this Drunk combo. And the reason why, like, you know, you can always swap this out for Risky Ring as well. Most fights are decided in turn 1 anyway, since you can CC or murder like an entire group of people. So it really doesn't matter that you take hits. But you can break your own concentration sometimes. Some enemies have like a parry or something like that, and you can break your own concentration on haste. So it is important to have enough constitution advantage to protect yourself from like breaking haste and then just losing the fight essentially. The damage, quite high damage. Like if you look over here, it should have been vulnerable, which would have done double. But you can see here it's like a 1d8 plus 2 plus dexterity modifier, which I leave dexterity quite low with this character because like you don't really need the dexterity. With the advantage, you already have such a high hit chance, so there's like why have the dexterity, right? Like so pretty low dexterity, still almost 100% hit chance. Sharpshooter gives you plus 10, and the advantage mitigates the sharpshooter. And then I get plus 8 from the Titan weapon because of the Elixir of Cloud Giant Strength. If I wasn't using the Punch Drunk combo, I would be using... my previous one was Knife of the Undermountain King, and then Club of Hill Giant Strength. This works as well, and alternatively, I think this is a solid offhand thing as well, just to get the 19 strength, and then use the Bloodlust Potion, and to get plus 3 initiative, which this character needs more initiative, because it can win basically any fight if it starts the fight, right? I would probably adjust it this way. I don't know why the characters weren't falling over. Usually when you produce like ice underneath a character, it will become prone and basically skip its turn anyway. I don't know why they weren't falling over. I think it might be because I've changed from Winter's Clutches. So I might put Winter's Clutches back in and as my arm thing for now until I get something better. But yeah, build's very strong, comes online quite quick at the beginning of Act 2. It's the best. I think it's the best of all worlds. It can support. It can support through CC. It murders entire groups of people. It's a charisma character, so it can be the face of your party. You don't even need like the rest of the party, to be honest. Like most of my builds have been kind of destroying the game on just like solo. So I'm just trying to find some more interesting things. Yeah, I would also say like this is a better way of getting many attacks in one turn. I think the issue with using using Rogue and the double hand crossbows is that they don't have great hand crossbows in the game. And if you're going to attack many times and use the Swords Bard's Slashing Flourish to hit as many times as you want to be using the most powerful bow that you can be using. And I think not Titan String Bow is like one option, but I'm sure that later on in the game there'll be other bows that might be able to compete with this for the top spot. For the top spot of having like the best bow currently. Yeah, obviously I haven't combined that with any of my coatings, which I love my like little coating things. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, like, there's a lot of versatility in being able to do 100% hypnotic pattern or 100%, like, I could hold person with 100% hit chance on like 3 targets in between 2 hits, in between a turn, right? It's kind of insane. I think the last 2 skills for this character would probably be the last 2 would probably be into Bard 8. I think to get the additional skill slots. I think once I get the additional spell slots, I think Wizard will let me learn Hold Monster as well, so I can cast Hold Monster between turns, which will make completely 100%, like near 100% chance of casting Hold Monster on specific characters will basically trivialize some fights. Without sacrificing basically any damage. Yeah, and then the extra ASI, the extra skill, extra feat would go into Alert to make sure that the character can go first. Yeah, and then that's the build. I'm still trying to find some kind of challenging fight in Act 3. Hopefully I can find something that can give me a challenge. Probably need to change this amulet soon for like more defensive, like anti-CC play. I don't really know.